Hello, this is Arvin, and you're watching Dimers TV. Yes, sir.
In season 84, the UP Fighting Maroons captured their first title in 36 years after beating the three-time defending champion Ateneo Blue Eagles in one of the most memorable best-of-3 series of all time. Now, coming into season 85 of the UAAP, the Fighting Maroons were the hands-down heavy favorites to win it all once again this season. Led by young superstar Carl Tamayo, clutch point guard JD Cash Money Kagulangan, do it all forward Zave Lucero, import and soon to be named MVP Malik Diouf, and proven championship coach Goldwyn Monteverde, UP is looking really poised to go back to back after securing the number 2 spot with a twice to beat advantage. Next are the Ateneo Blue Eagles, led by arguably the best coach in the Philippines right now, Coach Tab Baldwin. Unlike with UP, the Eagles were not as fortunate coming into the season. They lost key cogs like Gian Mamuyak and Tyler Tio, who went on to the PBA. Incoming superstar point guard SJ Belangel surprised everyone when he decided to turn pro as well to play in the Korean Basketball League. Reigning MVP Ange Kwame suffered a partial ACL tear 3 months before the season started. Yet, as with any Tab Baldwin-led team, the Blue Eagles proved all their doubters wrong, as they still found a way to end up with the number 1 spot, led by MVP runner-up Fortsky Padrigal, bucket getter Dave Ildefonso, team captain BJ Andrade, super rookie Kai Balungay, and last season's MVP Ange Kwame. Then, we have the NU Bulldogs, who were one of the biggest surprises this season. Their preseason success translated into actual UAAP success, and for a time, it seemed like they would be getting one of the top 2 spots once the dust settled. Though they ended up at number 3, the NU Bulldogs, led by star player John Lloyd Clemente, team leader Steve Nash Enriquez, rookie scoring machine Kian Baklaan, and coach Jeff Napa, this team will surely be no pushovers come the Final Four. And last, but definitely not the least, we have the Adamson Falcons. The hosts of season 85 had to go through the toughest road just to get to the Final Four, led by arguably the UAAP's top point guard Jerome Lastimosa and championship coach Nash Rosella. This team had to battle a very slow start in the first round, an injury to star guard Lastimosa, and multiple cardiac ball games that they had to miraculously pull off just to finally book their Final Four ticket in a winner-go-home playoff match against the De La Salle Green Archers. And now that the matchups have been finally determined, who among these 4 teams will end up bagging the much-coveted Season 85 Men's Basketball Championship in the UAAP? Yes, sir. Welcome back to Dimers TV. I'm your host, J.I. Dimes. And for today's episode 26, we will be sharing our UAAP Season 85 Final Four and Finals predictions. But this is going to be for a cause, as we have decided among us that whoever gets it correctly, like perfectly, we will be donating 400 pesos, to our chosen charity. Of course, with the help also of our sponsors, Yo and Yes, Rain and Reese Accessories, and Tiny Lambs. Okay, so again, thank you to our sponsors for making this episode possible as well. Okay, so let's now proceed to our predictions. And just a little disclaimer, we made these predictions, our predictions, last Saturday. That was before Ateneo battled Adamson and LaSalle battled UST. So there were still many possible scenarios during that time. But that's the reason why some of us from the get-go did not get it correctly. And that's where we will start. Of course, starting with my predictions. I had these were my final 4 matchups. Number 1, Ateneo. Number 2, UP. Number 3, NU. And number 4, LaSalle. I thought they would make it, but they lost to Adamson yesterday. So for my final four predictions, I had Ateneo beating Lasal after the first game, while UP will lose to NU in the first game but will eventually win the second game. So for me, the finals would be still Ateneo and UP, wherein UP will win game one, Ateneo will win game two, and then this time around, and once again, UP will win game three. I had Carl Tamayo winning the finals MVP, thus UP goes back to back. Okay, so those were my predictions. Now for as for Jonas, let's go to Jonas because he also made a mistake in the final four prediction. He also had LaSalle making it, so he also had Ateneo, UPNU, and LaSalle. But for Jonas, in his final four predictions, he had LaSalle winning against Ateneo first, but then eventually Ateneo will win the second game and advance still to the finals. And then same thing with NU winning the first game, but then UP will eventually win the do or die game and will make it to the final. So Jonas also had UP and Ateneo going against each other. UP will win game one, Ateneo will win game two, and then UP, according to Jonas, will win a very close game three. For Jonas, Carl Tamayo will still win or will also win finals MVP, and UP goes back to back as well. Okay, so thank you. So for sure, Jonas and I are no longer part of those who can win these predictions or this predictions challenge that we set, for the team because we already made a mistake in the final four. Now let's proceed to those who are still in the running to get it correctly, starting with, of course, a bona fide UP Fighting Maroon, a proud Isko ng Bayan. Of course, we have Sir Arvin Alimboyao. Of course, for Sir Arvin, his final four matchups, very accurate as of the moment. Number one, Ateneo. Number two, UP. Number three, NU. And number four, Adamson. And then for this final four predictions, Ateneo and UP will easily beat their semis matchups after the first game, thus, bagging their ticket to the finals, and they will have a rematch wherein UP will win game one, Ateneo will win game two, but UP will eventually bag the championship in game three. For Sir Arvin, Carl Tamayo will win finals MVP, and as mentioned, UP goes back to back. Okay, thank you, Sir Arvin. Now, another guy who is still in the running would be Sir Johnmer Mangotara. For Sir Johnmer, again, his final four predictions still very much alive. He had Ateneo at number one, UP number two, NU number three, and Adamson at number four. For Sir Johnmer, Adamson will win the first game against Ateneo, but then Ateneo will eventually bounce back and beat them and advance to the finals. And then for UP, they will immediately beat NU and proceed or enter the finals. And then this is now a different finals predictions for Sir Johnmer. For him, Ateneo will sweep UP. So they will win games 1 and 2, wherein Dave Ildefonso, according to Sir Johnmer, will have a redemption kind of finals and he will dominate and win finals MVP. Okay, so thank you, Sir Johnmer Mangotara. And then last would be, of course, the predictions of Lods, Christian Lods C. Still very much alive. Ateneo at number one, UP number two, NU number three, and Adamson at number four. For Lods, Ateneo will beat Adamson after the first game, while UP will also beat NU after the first game. So it will be Ateneo for Lods will win game one, but then UP will win games 2 and 3, wherein Carl Tamayo will win finals MVP and UP goes back to back as well. Okay, now as for Joseph Alfonso, he was very honest in in telling us na hindi daw siya nanonood ng UAAP ngayon. Of course, the former Team B of the UST Tigers, maybe not so interested anymore in watching the UAAP. Focus lang siya sa pagtitraining niya, no? Sa kanyang babalik condition. So sabi niya pass daw muna siya sa thoughts niya regarding the UAAP. predictions. Okay? So, again, we will see. We will see kung sino sa amin ang makakakuha nitong mga well, dun sa tatlo na lang, no? Yung tatlong remaining, sino kaya sa kanila yung makaka-perfect dun sa kanilang mga predictions, and kung sino man sa kanila, hopefully meron, no? Para we'll be able to donate 400 pesos dun sa kanilang chosen charity. Okay, so that is it for episode 26, our UAAP Season 85, Final 4, and Finals predictions. Okay, let's now proceed to first, ang ating favorite segment, walang iba kundi ang ating shoutout segment. Okay, so ito na yung ating shoutouts for episode 26. Again, special shoutout to our sponsors, the major sponsors for this episode. Tiny Lambs, Rain and Reese Accessories, and then Yo and Yes. So many thanks for again making this episode possible. And then special shout out as well, of course, to our yung mga ating ultimate supporters dito sa Dimers TV. Siyempre nandyan si Mose _BL3, Raiza Gawa, and then MA Wizard, JDR Machine, Yesi Buckets, and JL Speedy. Okay, so thank you guys for always supporting Dimers TV. And then special shout out as well, no, kay sa aking father-in-law na si Papa Kaloy Garcia, no, na nagla-like din sa ating mga posts, no, sa Facebook, no. So for those who haven't followed our Facebook page, please kindly follow us on Facebook as well, aside from subscribing dito sa aming YouTube channel. That's my Instagram page din kami. You can also follow our Instagram page as well, by the way. And then special shout out as well to no, isa sa mga una kong naging kakilala na co-teacher sa UE, no, si Ma'am Renalyn Heneta Cristobal, no. So maraming salamat po, Ma'am Ren, no, for supporting Dimers TV and for liking our posts as well. And then ito, mga estudyante din ni Ma'am Ren, estudyante namin to sa 5P, no. Special shoutout again to Daniel Handusay, to Arkin Ermita, to Jan Arsenal, no. Kasama na rin dyan sina Sydney Hernandez, no. Sino pa? Dominic Darakan, no? So Kurt Yumul, no? So maraming salamat dun sa ating mga 5P students, and then of course our supporters also from 4P. Ito, laging mga nagsusupport dito sa Dimers TV. Of course, you have Bianca Faye Garcia, si Earl Hamil, no, na nagla-like din sa mga posts natin, and then kasama rin pala sa 5P kanina si Renzo Labay, no, na I forgot to mention. And then sa mga 4P again, kasama rin si Florine Medillo, si Alison Kate Laos, and then si Alain Darian Garcia. You know, maraming salamat din for supporting Dimers TV. And then some other people that we would like to shout out, of course, DATCON student, no, si Kyrel, no. I think he's Kyrel Jabez from a first UMS, no. So maraming salamat, anak, for supporting Dimers TV. And then of course, no, sa isa sa mga Mavs fan for life, no, ang aking idol na idol ko to, of course, si Sir Banjo Hoson of T-shirt Printing Manila, no. So kung kayo ay basically interesado magpagawa ng kahit anong klase ng designs, damit, no, etc., yan, T-shirt Printing Manila is of course the way to go. And then special shout out as well, no, to Sir Dennis Ilanampo, who of course liked also our posts, no, sa Facebook page. Another former student of mine, Gilliver Canicon, special shout out as well. And then kasama na rin si ito, mga dati kong advisory students to, no, 2 years ago, Angel Redito de la Rosa, pati si Jimmy Bucket Squadra. Maraming salamat din. And then of course, no, ito, dating din to, nagbibigay din to ng thoughts natin sa, lalo na pagdating sa kanyang favorite na San Antonio Spurs, no, to Sir Paul Lareza. Maraming salamat po, Sir Paul Lareza, for always supporting Dimers TV. And then ito, estudyante ko to, kaklase din to ni Lods, no, last year kaklase nito sa senior high school, both grade 11 and grade 12. Of course, si Jomel Tizon, no? And ano ko na rin, no, i-special shoutout ko na rin yung Arangkada, no? So sa lahat ng mga sobrang mga aficionado sa mga motor at mga mahilig sa mga parts, etc. At sa mga suot, no? Mga mahilig talaga magmotor dyan is arangkada is the way. And of course, ayan, walang iba kundi sila Jomel ang nagpapatakbo niyang arangkada. Okay, so that is it, no? That is it for our shoutout. So again, maraming salamat po for always supporting Dimers TV. And that is it for episode 26. It is all about, of course, our UAAP Season 85 Final 4 and Finals predictions. Okay, so again, this is J.I. Dimes. Keep safe, everyone, and we'll see you again on the next episode of Dimers TV. Yes, sir.